Hey everyone, it's Dr. Russell, and I'm back doing regular videos for the fall and winter. I took a bit of a hiatus. It's been a little bit of a chaotic summer, but I'm excited to be back talking about different health topics. And I thought, what better topic to start off with is coffee. So, coffee is one of those hot topic issues that a lot of people come to my practice thinking how beneficial it is for them, which we're going to touch on, but worried, am I going to ask them to get rid of coffee? What's the downsides to that? So I wanted to talk about coffee and specifically hormone balance, since that's a lot of what I focus on in my practice. So yes, there is some research that shows that coffee does help with cognition, it helps with metabolism, it has some antioxidant properties. So there have been some demonstrated benefits to drinking coffee. That being said, in my years of clinical experience working with women, especially women in the perimenopause, menopause range, or really you could say any hormone imbalance, it just seems like for most women, coffee is not the best thing. It doesn't seem to be a friend in this situation. So what I've found is that because when it comes to hormone imbalances, we really want to focus on liver health and our liver function, and our liver is what's responsible for basically processing our hormones and getting rid of them. So one part of the equation is making hormones, but then we have to get rid of them at some point. They can't be in our system forever. And what happens is, especially I think over the years, when you drink things like coffee and alcohol, it just puts extra burden on your liver, especially when you think about it. Our liver is detoxifying all the chemicals and pollutants that we're exposed to on a daily basis, no matter how clean you try to live your life. We can't really control the air, to some extent the water, that's hard to control. So, our liver gets a lot of that burden. Especially as women, that's, a lot of extra work it's doing. So it just seems like over time, coffee ends up being more of a burden to the liver and that hormone balancing than a benefit. So at least for me, when it comes to women, especially for hormone balancing and perimenopause, around that age, coffee is not the best. I found it's really hard to give up. Obviously, it's usually part of a normal daily habit or routine in the morning, especially. And it tastes good. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Coffee is delicious. So that's also hard. It's a nice comfort. It's hard to get rid of that comfort. But what I found is that a lot of women, when they give it up, even just after a couple of days to a week, they feel that their energy is improved, their brain fog goes away, their irritability, their anxiety, they might even be sleeping better. A lot of times we self-medicate with coffee because we didn't sleep well, so we drink more coffee and then we feel worse because we can't sleep well, so it's this vicious cycle. So coffee, if you have hormone imbalance or perimenopause, menopause, something like that, and you haven't tried cutting back on coffee, might be a good way to go. So at least for me, when it comes to women's health, I haven't seen as much benefit as coffee as the research likes to contend. The options are, there are a lot of coffee alternatives. So I usually don't recommend decaf unless you're getting a decaf that uses what's called Swiss water process. So it's processed without using chemicals, because then you're just introducing other chemicals by drinking the decaf coffee. But there are things like Ticino or Dandy Blend that are other coffee alternatives that, nothing's going to taste exactly like coffee, but it is an option just to keep that routine in the morning if you need that hot beverage. There's also tea, of course, but Dandy Blend and Ticino definitely have more of that body of coffee, so that's a good option. So hopefully that maybe opened your mind a bit if you've been kind of on the fence or thinking maybe I need to cut back on my coffee. Again, for hormone balance, it might be a good way to go. So hopefully that was helpful. Please let me know any questions or if you had experience giving up coffee and what that was like. I can say personally, whenever I get out of the habit and cut coffee to the curb, I do feel so much better overall, even brain functioning wise, which always, blows my mind how much we think we need coffee to function. And then once we get rid of it, I actually feel better. It's amazing. So I will see you next week. The next set of videos I'm going to do around I'm going to talk about sleep. So different tips for sleep, because sleep is so important and a lot of people have issues with sleep. So I will see you next week.